Hi, and thank you so much once again for joining me. Again, we're on Scraptember 2022, and this is day 12. And day 12's prompt is to use a cut file, punches, or dies. So I immediately thought of using the cut file Back to School from Amelia Creates at Hey Little Magpie. I'm starting off by creating a sunburst effect using this Bramble Fox stencil. And it's a picture that I took last week of my children as they went back to school, and it's their last year at high school this year, so a very important year. Every year we take a photo of them underneath this palm tree. This summer we've actually had our garden landscaped, so the photo will look a bit different, but it's just lovely to have that tree in the background every year and see the tree growing as the children grow. It was really nice. So using chipped sapphire distress oxide to brush through this stencil, because they wear a navy blue school uniform, so I thought that went really nicely with it. And once I've done this sunburst shape, I'm going to move down to the bottom left hand corner and do another one in bundled sage. First of all though, to get a really nice gradient, I'm going in with speckled egg to complete these sunbursts, to get the gradient going from the dark blue through to the lighter blue at the ends. And there we have it, and that's the rough positioning that I want. I want the photo over that top sunburst, and then the back to school cut file just overlapping the bottom left hand corner ever so slightly. So I'm just trimming this photo down. There was some extra negative space that I didn't really need, and then I'm going to mount it on white, just a scrap of white cardstock, and then onto the black cardstock to really make it stand out against this layout. I wasn't sure which supplies to use for this, so I grabbed my Vicki Boutin. I'm nearly out of Vicki Boutin now. I'm desperately waiting for her print shop to come into the store, but I'm just working with what I've got. I've got a few bits of paper left and some stickers from Colour Study and also Sweet Rush. So just mounting this onto the black, and then we'll start having to play with some papers and see what we can do with this background. So just looking at what I have there, and I really like this green paper. This is a leftover from a Fernwood piece that I used on an earlier prompt this month to do fussy cutting. And this is the reverse side of it. So just doing some tearing along the edge, going up and down to get the maximum out of the paper where these triangles were. And this is going to act almost as a shelf for the photo to stand on. So I wanted another strip of something else, and the only other paper that I've got any decent amount of is that one there with the blue artichokes on. So just working out, and I'm happy with the way that those two look together there, just checking where the photo is going to go, and again trying out the cut file. And the cut file, I want the word back to sit on top of that shelf of paper, and then the to school underneath. So now I'm just going to go through some of the embellishments, the sticker sheets and things, to see what else I can add to this. First of all, I want to stick down those papers. Now I know where they're going to go, using my trusty T-ruler to check that everything's straight. I think when you're filming, you don't want to bring your head in too much because it will cover the camera. So it's easier just to use a tool to make sure you're straight each time. And there we have it. That's the most, I think that might be all of the pattern paper that I end up using on this actually. So coming back in with the cut file and trying to decide what to do with that. So back to the sticker sheet. And then I remember I had this sticker, and this is what started it all off, this notebook with the paperclip I thought was perfect for a school photo, so that's why I went with my Vicki Boutin stash this time. I like that blue butterfly. It says free to roam, and they soon will be. One more year of school and then they'll be off to college and they'll have much more freedom. I have a play with these chipboard pieces, but they don't actually work for me in the end. I think the colours are a bit too bright for this layout. I want to keep it mainly to the navy blues and the greens like we've got in the photo, the blues of their uniform and sky, and the greens of the grass and plants around. These chipboard stickers are perfect. One says, do your best. The one underneath, forget the rest. And the one underneath that, don't stress. So all perfect for this type of photo. Again, trying with some more of that colourful chipboard, but it's not right. I do, however, find this chipboard tab to put on top of the photo. I bury most of that orange because, like I say, I want to keep the blues and greens as the dominant colours, but a little bit peeking through is absolutely fine and adds a little bit more interest to the layout. I like this sticker. It says New Adventures, but it ends up on the left-hand side there. It was getting too hidden where I was trying to put it next to the photo. And just going through the photos again, the papers again, to see if there's anything else I can add. And I find this green paper that I think might work. So I tear off a strip and then try with the other piece to layer it underneath the photo. But again, it doesn't make the cut. It's a bit too bright for me and it's just unnecessary. I like the way that things are coming together already without that there. Now the reason I keep putting that cut file back onto the layout while I'm building it up is because I'm trying to work out exactly what to do with it. The white on white is just a little bit too subtle for me this time round, so I decided to ink the word back with that Bundled Sage Distress Oxide ink. I was going to leave the To School white, but it looked almost too stark against the navy and green that I've got on those paper strips, so I decided to go in and ink those as well. So I start off with the speckled egg at the top of the word school and then move down to the chipped sapphire at the bottom. And I love that gradient, and it sort of mirrors the gradient that we've got going on with the sunburst behind the photo. Next I want to add a bit more definition to that sunburst, so I go in with a very thin 0.05 black pen and just add random stripes to each of, not just to each of the rays, but sometimes in between as well. And I'm not fussing about exactly where it lines up. It's just to add a little bit more something else there, and it makes it a little bit more crisp somehow. So sticking that photo down now, and then I'm going to use some water to activate the oxides in the oxide ink. This is something that I absolutely love doing. If you spray some water and then dab it up afterwards with a kitchen towel, it leaves these beautiful raindrop effect on the ink. You'll see what I mean when I dab this up. So I don't know whether you can see there, it sort of fades the inks and it looks really effective. And I've gone over the whole thing, the back to school and the sunbursts, and in fact the photo as well, so I had to wipe that off too. So now going in and sticking the cut file down with my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. I won't make you watch me doing all of this. Making sure that that web back is sitting on top of that shelf. Rubbing off some of the bits of adhesive that always go everywhere whenever I try and put things down. Still playing with a few bits of paper to see if there's anything else that I want to add. Quick look through the sticker sheets, and of course I find something that I want to put underneath the cut file after I've stuck the cut file down. And I add some journaling to this sticker. It just says Year 11, hard to believe. I was going to use some small stickers, some small alphabet stickers underneath the cut file, spelling out Year 11, but I prefer how I've done it there, just tucked away really on that tiny bit of journaling. So adding the date to that top tab, and then I can see what else needs doing. I know I want to add some more bits, but I wasn't quite sure what, and I kind of exhausted my Vicki Boutin stash at this point, and then I suddenly remembered to go through my drawers with all my older bits and pieces. So this is where I'm just having a little think, pushing everything down, having a look to see what else I need. Trimming off the excess bits of paper there. And it's as I tuck this paper underneath that I think, oh, if I tear the corner off, and then I can stick some of that on the corner again, just to add a little bit more interest to the layout, because it's a very white layout. There's not a lot of paper on there really. So just sticking that paper down, and then I'll trim off the excess afterwards. And I want to put something on that pattern paper that I've just added to that bottom right hand corner. So just having a look through this sticker sheet to see if there's anything there that could be added. I'm thinking possibly a word strip or something like that. Another quick look, but don't see anything. So I'm having a look through the sticker book now. And it's on this sticker sheet that I find a phrase that just says, "You've got this." And it's in orange, so it just brings that orange in from the tab a tiny bit more. So trimming off the excess paper now that glue started to dry, and that's that corner done. So I'm going to add some journaling. This is the first time that I've done a school photo so soon after taking it. I actually created this layout the same day that it was taken, and it was fantastic because I've got all the memories of the time that they have to leave to walk to school, what time they're starting school, and any added bits of interesting information with them being in Year 11. With hindsight, I wish I'd done that for all their school photos now, because it's amazing how quickly you forget what time you're leaving for school, whether they're walking or whether you're driving them and things like that. So that would be a top tip. Try and at least keep a diary if you don't do the layout straight away, so that you've got the information to put on that layout. So going in with my black soot ink, I've just watered it down and adding some splatters. I thought this would look nice as almost like ink splatters, with it being a back to school photo. I thought that was quite nice. Just clearing that up, and this is the point when I go through my very old stash. So here's an Amy Tangerine enamel badge that says Treasure These Days, and it's the right colour, so that goes down there in the bottom corner. And then some enamel hearts, glitter enamel hearts, one in gold and one in silver, one for each of the children. And then this flare badge from Hey Little Magpie. I think it's from the Storyteller collection of flare that we made. I'm just trying to work out where it's going to go. I know I definitely want it on the layout, so I pull off the backing paper so that I've committed and pop it down on the photo here and realise I don't want it there, but it's too late. Some of the adhesive is stuck onto the photo. So I try again, but I know I'm not happy with it there, so I try and pull off the adhesive, but that doesn't work. So you'll see me now spending ages trying to fill that corner to cover the bit of adhesive that I left on there. So the flare badge actually goes up there above the butterfly, and it looks really nice up there. So now it's a case of finding something to cover up that piece of adhesive, as I say. So I grab my little box of JD 3D print and Bramble Fox acrylic, and add a couple of acrylic pieces from Bramble Fox, but don't actually use any JD 3D and don't cover that adhesive up. So then I go into my wood veneer box, see if there's anything there. I quite like this arrow and I love the heart, but I don't like them together, and I'm covering up my journaling on that label on the left hand side with a lot of the things that I choose. I think this geotag's going to work, but then I find a documented circle and think that might work, but no. So it's just trial and error, and I think I'm just annoyed with myself, and sometimes when you're annoyed you can't work out what you're going to do. But I grabbed this label, which is the free printables on Hey Little Magpie, and add a few bits to that and decide that that's what I'm going to use. So just trying a few other bits to create a cluster without detracting too much from the word school in that cut file. So this label goes down, and the wood veneer heart, which I love. And the geotag goes down with those two little hearts down there, which is sweet. So just sticking down these Bramble Fox pieces, just a little, almost like a sunburst in white, and a hashtag next to the back to school cut file. That documented circle doesn't make it. It soaked up all the ink where I'd thrown it away. To the side I should say, and it landed on one of the black soot ink splatters that I've got there. So I find this label sticker that says fabulous, and I'm really happy with that. So just going in with some Heidi Swap Colour Shine in gold, just to lighten it up all up a bit and add another colour. And that's it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Do check the description box down below to see everybody else who's playing along. I can't wait to see what they use on today's prompt, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another layout. Thank you so much. Bye.